I'm going to teach you how to create real and lasting change so you're not jumping from YouTube video to YouTube video, book to book, or whatever technique you're doing right now that's not working, and actually show you a method that's going to allow you to change your life. So for the longest time, this was me. I've read hundreds of books. I've studied so many different things. I've watched YouTube videos, hundreds or thousands of hours just trying to study and figure out what was wrong with me. Why am I so broken? Why am I having such a hard time relating and connecting with people? Simply just to be going in circles and just failing over and over again to the point where I was so burnt out that I was at the verge of just simply giving up. And I maybe did give up for at least like a day or two until I actually found the solution. So the reason why I was failing so much is because I was looking at the how to and not the underlying mechanism and the mindset and the emotional pain that I was feeling that was causing me to self sabotage whatever endeavor I went into. And it didn't allow me to emotionalize the lessons that I learned in these books and whatever that would look like. So that's where most of the healing is going to be. It's going to be one, understanding and being aware of what's actually driving your behavior and the subconscious mechanisms that's keeping you to make the same decisions that you're currently making, which is keeping you stuck. And two, understanding your emotions and allowing yourself to process and heal as opposed to just shoving them down, trying to avoid them, because we can only learn through emotional understanding and being able to feel the emotion. Because if we don't feel any emotions, we become apathetic, and thus we are wired to learn through emotions. For example, if you if one of you, back in the day, like when we're back in tribes, if one of your boys got eaten by a lion, you're gonna see that maybe lions bring a lot of fear in you, so you're gonna avoid lions. Or if you found some really good food and it tastes really good and is very enjoyable, you're gonna say, "Hey, let me go back to this tree and eat more." So we're basically wired for pleasure and pain. And when we completely cut off our emotions because we feel so much pain as a child, we become apathetic and almost stonewalled, where like there's nothing back there and we can't actually learn and we can't actually grow and we can't actually heal. So what you see in a lot of times is people, they have a chronological age of, they might be 40 years old, but emotionally and mentally they're only like 6 or 7, easily reactive. They are have such a short temper. They're very victimhood. They're always looking for others to fix their problem instead of taking responsibility. And as a consequence, they're just stuck where they are. They embarrass themselves in public, and it's just a very bad look to have, especially as an adult. So then the solution is to remove the shame and guilt you have around these emotions, dissolve the beliefs that are keeping you stuck, and as a consequence, you'll start to incorporate your emotions more. Now, I'm not telling you should let your emotions lead you because I think that's just a very bad recipe, but you should be able to feel them and allow them to process. This way you can heal and you're no longer ran by unconscious program and unconscious trauma. Now, when you're no longer ran by unconscious trauma, you're not making the same decisions and the same choices that are going to keep you stuck so you can avoid being exposed. And thus, when you heal yourself, you understand that being exposed is not that big of a deal, and you actually know yourself, and what other people think doesn't really matter as much. Then you could put yourself out there more and have different results coming back in. Whereas opposed, you would reserve yourself, you would shy away, you would feel a lot of shame. So then you wouldn't stand in the spotlight and you would just avoid any opportunity that came for you to grow. So then it's not about the technique and the strategies, which is infinitely important, but that's about 20% of it. You can have the best strategies in the world, but if your subconscious is determined for failure, then you're just going to be a failure in any endeavor. Not because you inherently are a failure, but you need to reconfirm the belief system you have about yourself, which is I'm a failure. So you'll subconsciously sabotage any success that you have in order to create the reality of you being a failure or whatever the belief system is, right? Being a failure is just one of them, but there's many that have to do with relationships, health, wealth, and etc. So then instead of hyper focusing on just the strategy and the implementation of it, instead also focus most of your time on what's holding you back, the traumas that are keeping you stuck, and what is it that's emotionally driving you to stay where you're at and not actually heal, and start to lean into the pain and the emotional discomfort so it no longer controls you. Hopefully this video was helpful. If it was, leave a like and follow for more content like this.